Well, good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays. I hope everyone is having a great and wonderful day that the God has given us. And I'm coming to you this morning from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh for a matchup from April 12th, 1979 between the homestanding Pittsburgh Pirates and the visiting St. Louis Cardinals. We'll try something a little different today. I'm going to, thanks to Jester, ID Jester on his page, I set this up with electronic cards, and we'll be using those on the desktop here with my computer. You can see I've got both teams' cards and the stadium card up and a dice roller. I will be off camera. I will be using the fast action cards to determine runner advancement and where the singles are hit and error and range checks. So for today, we will have, again, as I said, it's the St. Louis Cardinals visiting the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is the first of a game of a homestand for the Pirates. And looking forward to seeing how this outcome will play out. I am so far been playing the season as the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm rethinking that. I may just go to playing the season out and picking certain games from within the season. I have yet to decide on that. So any thoughts from anyone? I think what I'm finding is I'm getting kind of in a rut with just playing with Pittsburgh all the time. And I think I'd like a little bit of variety. But for this game, for pitching for the Pirates today will be Don Robinson, who in '79 he had an 8-8 record with a 3.87 ERA. He did have he was in 29 games. He started 25 of those and had 4 complete games with a strikeout 5, almost 5.5 per 9 innings. For the visiting Cardinals, you will have Lou Brock leading off and playing left field. Gary Templeton batting second at short. Then Keith Hernandez, your first baseman, batting fourth and playing first base. Ted Simmons, your catcher, batting fifth. At the sixth spot in center field, George Hendrick playing right field will be Tony Scott. Ken Wrights will be at third base. Mike Tyson, not that Mike Tyson, will be playing second. And pitching and using the number 5 pitcher hitting card. Oops, that's not correct. Where's he at? John Denny. That's one thing I'm going to have to be careful of. Pitching for, again, for Pittsburgh will be Don Robinson. Denny on the season was 8-11 with 4.85 ERA. I will be using the as-played lineups, and we're ready to get this game started. Leading off for the Cardinals' Lou Brock. We're using the dice roller. That is an tough 74. That will be a fly ball that's hit shallow. Marino settling under it for the first out of the inning. That's an F8 put out by Marino. That brings Templeton to the plate. It's an in play 51 for Templeton. He hits a pop-up, hits it straight up in the air. Tavares settles under it for the pop-up to short for out number 2 here in the first inning in our matchup. That brings Keith Hernandez to the plate. Hernandez on the season against right-handed pitching batted .353 with 5 home runs from right-handed pitching. So a little bit of pop for Hernandez. Here comes the pitch from Robinson. He toes the rubber. Pitch is on its way. It's an in-play 44 for Keith Hernandez. That will be a ground ball hit back to the first baseman, where Milner fields it easily, steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted, for 3 up, 3 down here in inning number 1. Coming to the plate for the homestanding Pirates, leading off, Frank Tavares against right-handed pitching, batted .296. Does not have any pop to his bat, so that we won't be looking for home runs from Tavares. Pitches to the plate. It's a patient 0-4. That looks like Tavares with a patient 0-4. He does not walk. He hits a sharp ball, and he hits that one deep drive off the wall in left field as it bangs off the wall. Tavares is on with a double, leading off here in the first. He gets a 2-bagger, and that brings up Omar Marino. And Tavares will not steal on second. It's too early in the game. Marino up to the plate. Pitch is delivered. This is a ballpark 19. That will be a wheelhouse for Marino. Wheelhouse 33. And Marino has hit it sharply. It's a soft blooper into right field, and the runner on second base will only take 1 base because it was hit in to left field and it was short. So Tavares moves over to third as Marino leads off with his hit, a single into left field. So with 2 men on the corners, that brings up Dave Parker. Parker on the season against right-handed pitching batted .317 with 12 home runs. So John Denny is getting in some deep waters here early in this game. This is a defensive check, and it's a 91. So I know just by looking, see if this is an error, that it will be an out. It's hit to the second baseman. But will they turn 2? They will not. So it's going to be a fielder's choice for out number 1. Marino will be out at second. So we still have runners on the corner with 1 out. And John Milner coming to the plate. Denny to the belt. It's a patient 56 for Milner. Patient 56. And he will be walked. So base on balls, we have the bases loaded for Bill Robinson as he comes to the plate. With Tavares on third, anything hit into the outfield will score him because he does have a run of 8. So he will score easily. Here's the pitch. It is another ballpark, a ballpark 63, and that will be a wheelhouse here in Three Rivers Stadium. So Bill Robinson, home runs from 1 to 40. This could be trouble quick for Denny and the Cardinals. And it has been hit deep. It has been hit hard, and it is in the cheap seats. And we have seen a grand slam, the old salami, as our Red Sox fan would say, here in the very first inning. We will have 4 runs come across as Bill Robinson has hit the grand slam here in the first. With 1 out, things are not looking good for the visiting Cardinals. My. Excuse me. As he went deep. On John Denny. So now we kind of understand why Denny had a 4.85 ERA. That will bring Rennie Stennett to the plate as Robinson has cleared the plate for him. Stennett to the plate. They've went out, tried to calm Denny down. This pitch comes. It will be an in play 14 for Rennie Stennett. And that will be a single for Stennett as the hits keep on coming. He just drops one in front of Scott in right field, who fields it, but we have another runner on here. In the bottom of the first. That brings up Ed Ott, the catcher for Pittsburgh, who batted .276 against right-handed pitching. Again, it's an in play 29 for Ed Ott. And he hits a single. He hits a hard grounder into left field. The runner on first will advance 1 base plus. With Stennett, it will just be 1 base. As we will not attempt to get greedy here with already 4 runs across the plate. That brings up Phil Garner to the plate. Garner batting .305 against right-handed pitching. It will be an in-play 20 for Garner. And that will be another single, another ball hit. Ball blooped into right field. Runner on first. Both runners will advance one base. So we have bases loaded again, as Robinson, the pitcher, will come to the plate. With still just one out, they have batted the lineup. Robinson will be hitting off the number 9 pitcher hitting card. And it's his wheelhouse, but it's a wheelhouse 86. He lofted up one to him. That will be a ground ball to short. Can they pull the double play? It's a 9 on his card. And on the shortstop, Templeton, let's take a look at his card. One second. Templeton's double play is a 6. So let's turn it. And they do not. They do get the force. But Stennett will score. As they get Garner at second. So we go back to Tavares, our leadoff. Man, so we have batted around here in the first. As Tavares comes to the plate, Denny just wanting to get out of this inning. It's a tough 41 to Tavares, and he does, as he hits a fly ball into right. Scott underneath it for out number 3. But it was a big 5-run inning for the homestanding Pittsburgh Pirates. And Denny will now one more run and he would have been fatigued, but he is out of that inning. As now Keith Hernandez to the plate. Robinson dealing. Will be a tough 53 for Hernandez. And that will be grounded. Hard to Phil Garner at third, but he scoops it up for the 5-3 put out for out number 1. Excuse me, that was not supposed to be Hernandez. That was a fly out. That was an F7. That was supposed to be Simmons to the plate. He's our 4th batter. So the F7 instead of the ground out. The F7 for out number 1. That brings George Hendrick to the plate. He batted .280 against right-handers in the season. It will be an in-play 33 for Hendrick. He pops it up. He pops it up high, and it looks like it's going foul behind the catcher. But Ed Ott is up underneath it for out number 2. The pop out to the catcher. 2 up, 2 down. As Tony Scott comes to the plate, batting .266 against right-handed pitching. It's going to be a tough 87. He grounds it sharply to second. Rennie Stennett up with it for the 4-3 putout. So 3 up, 3 down so far. Robinson is pitching a spotless game. As Denny will see if he can do better here. In the bottom of the second, he may, if this may be him getting run here in the second, because he has not fared well so far. And that is a patient 43 for Omar Moreno. And Omar Moreno comes up. He hits it sharply, a hard grounder into right field. And he is on with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. That would bring up Dave Parker to the plate. Dave Parker, his last time up, hit into a fielder's choice. This time, it will be a tough 98. And he lifts one into right field. There's a deep fly into right field. Moreno, with the great speed, will make it easily to second for the sacrifice. Into right. That brings up Milner with one down. With one down. Milner to the plate. That will be a tough 41 to Milner. And he has hit one. He has hit it sharply. A long single into the gap to center field. Runner on second will score as Milner brings home Moreno. And that is going to be it for John Denny. Who will we bring in? He did not last long. Need a long reliever. We'll bring in John Fulgham. He is a long reliever. He was 10-6, and he looks like a starter. We'll bring in Urea. So already into the bullpen early here as Denny is pulled for Urea. As Bill Robinson comes to the plate. The man on first. It is a tough 86. That will be grounded too short. The double play for Robinson is an 8. Let's see let's take a look at Tyson. He is an 8. So chances are good. And they do indeed turn to double play, as the card is a 6. So we have a 6-4-3 double play to close out the inning as we go to the top of the third with Pittsburgh leading 5-0. Robinson so far pitching a no-hitter, and I probably just jinxed him. That will be a patient 92 for Tony Scott. The patient 92. He hits one deep into right field. Dave Parker settling underneath it for the F9 putout. One up, one down. That brings up Mike Tyson to the plate. Tyson batting against right-handed pitching was abysmal, 164. So Robinson deals. It will be a tough 71 for Tyson. And he hits one into center. Omar Moreno underneath it for the F8 for out number 2. And that brings up Urea. I'm going to have to pull a pitcher hitting card for him. This will have to be off screen. You're just going to have to trust me. And here we go. Pitcher hitting card 11. It's right here in my view. And it's an in play 06. And the pitcher has come out. Urea has helped his cause. He hits the ball. Excuse me as I've dropped some of my cards. He hits the ball. And he hits it well. Long single into the gap in center field. It goes off the wall. But he will get one base as Urea has stepped up and helped his own cause with this single here in the bottom of the, top of the third. That will bring back up Lou Brock. Lou Brock, his first time out, flied into center. The first hit allowed for Don Robinson. Lou Brock to the plate. Can they get something going here? It will be an in-play 0-4 for Lou Brock. And Lou Brock has hit it, and he's hit it well. It's a deep drive off the left field wall. It is a double, and Urea will score as it clears the bases. So it's a RBI double for Lou Brock here in the top of the third, excuse me. So Brock doubles. Can they get something going here as Gary Templeton steps to the plate? It will be a ballpark. It will be a wheelhouse for Templeton. It's a wheelhouse 66. He was offered the lollipop, but he could not do anything with it as he lifts it into the left field for the F7 putout as Bill Robinson settles underneath it for out number 3. But in that inning, they did get a run across as the pitcher Urias singled, and then Brock drove him in with the double. Coming to the plate, will be Rennie Stennett. He singled his first time up. Rhea Dilling. It will be a defensive check on the shortstop. Templeton error rating is a 3, so it will be an out. So it is a 6-3 put out. As Stennett hits it sharply too short, but Gary Templeton stabs it, makes the good play over to first to Hernandez for out number 1. That brings up your catcher, Ed Ott. He singled his first time up. This time it will be an in-play 33 for Ott. It's just outside of his range. As he pops it up to third, rights underneath it for the P3 put out. 2 up, 2 down as Phil Garner comes up to the plate. That will be an in-play 19 for Garner. In play 19, we'll see Garner hitting the ball well. He hits a hard grounder into left field. He will single. So with 2 down, we have Robinson coming to the plate, the pitcher, but he's hitting on a 9 card, so he's a fairly good hitting pitcher. He will continue to go here. It's going to be an in-play 78. He gets him to lift it into center field, where Hendrick settles underneath it for the F8 put out. And we go to the 4th with the Pirates leading 5-1. And now Hernandez to the plate. Keith Hernandez, his last time, grounded out to first. Robinson to the belt. He deals the in-play 21 for Hernandez. Hernandez gets the wood on the ball. Soft blooper into short right field for the single. So Hernandez leads off here in the top of the 4th with a single that brings up Ted Simmons. Hernandez will not be stealing. Simmons to the plate. Robinson deals. It's a patient 68. It's grounded to short. It's grounded to Tavares. What is his double play? That's one thing I should have wrote down. Needed to go back to him very first. His is an 8. So anything 6 and under in this is a double play, and it is not. There will be the force play at second. Fielder's choice for Simmons. Hernandez out at second. So with one down and one man on, George Hendrick to the plate. It's the wheelhouse for Hendrick. A wheelhouse 23. He has hit it hard. He has hit it deep, and it is gone. Simmons has homered here in the top of the fourth to tighten this game up now, as 2 runs will come across. As he's hit the 2-run shot. Bring this game closer now. 5-3. That brings up Tony Scott to the plate. Had to step out to the mound for a minute and calm Robinson down. Checks the catcher signal. Brings the delivery to the plate. It is a patient 63 to Scott. He gets him to fly out. Deeply hit to center field, but not deep enough as Marino's speed gets to it easily, as it's out number 2 here in the inning. Brings up Ken Wrights to the plate. His first time up, he flied out to right. This is a ballpark, 47. That will be a wheelhouse for Wrights. And he hits a single grounder up the middle to center field, as he is on with two down. Mike Tyson to the plate. Tyson looking to keep this rally going. And it is a wheelhouse for Tyson, but he cannot do anything with it as the lollipop's offered to him. He gets underneath it, hits it deep, but it's too high. The center fielder Marino settles under it for out number 3. But in the top half of the fourth, two come across with the home run by Hendrick, bringing in him and Simmons for 2 runs in the top half. As we go to the bottom half of the fourth, and Frank Taveras to the plate here in the fourth. Top of the lineup to face Uria, who has pitched well so far. It's a defensive check, and it's a 90. That's going to be an out. It's on the second baseman, but he will take that easily for the 4-3 putout. As Taveras is set down. Brings up Omar Marino. The in play 54 for Marino. And he will hit it sharply to Wrights at third, but Wrights scoops it up over to first to Hernandez for the 5-3 put out. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Brings Dave Parker to the plate, who's last time up had a single and then come across no, not Parker. Marino did. Excuse me. That is a tough 15 for Parker, and he strikes him out. And that's, I believe, the first strikeout of our game for either pitchers It's 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom half of the fourth. We go to the fifth with this game 5-3 Pirates. The Cardinals coming back as Urea will lead off the inning, batting from the number 11 card, which is pretty sweet for a pitcher. Pitch to Urea. It's an in play, 18. And he singles again. Here in the fifth. So Urea's 2 for 2 so far in this game. Helping his cause greatly. That brings up Lou Brock. It's an in-play 90 for Brock. All right, he's grounded to second. Brock's an 8 on the double play. Let's take a look at Stennett. He's an 8, so 8 or under, and this is a double play. And here we go. What will it be? And it is a 6-4-3 double play. As Lou Brock hit into the double play, so 2 down now. As Gary Templeton comes to plate. It'll be an in play 21 for Templeton. And he will single a hard grounder into left field as Robinson fields it, tosses it in. We've got a runner on first with Keith Hernandez to the plate. Hernandez hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. This will be a tough 58 for Hernandez. And he flies out to left field. Bill Robinson settles under it for the F7 put out, and that's the fifth. No runs across in the fifth. As we go to the bottom of the fifth, excuse me. As coming to the plate will be John Milner. It will be a patient 98 for Milner. He lifts it, hits it high into right field. But Scott settles underneath it for the F9 put out for out number 1. Brings up Bill Robinson to the plate. We get into a double play his last time up, but he brought home 4 in the first with a grand slam home run. This is going to be a patient 78 for Robinson. He hits a deep fly ball into center field, where Hendricks settles under it for 2 down here in the fifth. As Randy Stennett comes to the plate, Stennett deals, Urea deals a patient 41 to Randy Stennett. And Stennett takes the ball. He takes that offering, and he hits a sharp liner. It drops in front of Templeton in left field for a 2-out single for Rennie Stennett. Brings Ed Ott to the plate, the catcher. His last time up, grounded out to short. Popped up to third. It's a patient 94 for Ott. He will lift it into right field, and Scott underneath it for the 3rd out. So after 5, the score remains 5-3 Pittsburgh as we go to the 6th. Simmons will be up to the plate. Simmons' last time up hit into a fielder's choice, but also scored when Hendrick brought him across. This is a defensive check, and it's going to be an out. It's going to be a 4-3 putout for Simmons, as the roll of 83 is well outside the error range of 61. So that will be a 4-3 putout for Simmons. Brings up George Hendrick to the plate. Hendrick's last time up. Homered. Got to be careful with Hendrick. It is a patient 0-4, and he walks him. Hendricks gets on with the base on ball. Which brings Scott to the plate. Tony Scott to the plate. That's a tough 30 to Scott. He strikes him out. It'll be the first strikeout for Robinson in this game, as we got 2 down with a runner on first. And Ken Wright's coming to the plate. It's a defensive check. This will be a defensive check on the 3rd baseman. This time it could be. He's a 3. So nope, it is an out. It will be a 5-3 putout, as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Score still 5-3. Still 5-3 Pittsburgh. This will be the last inning for Uriah. As Garner comes to the plate. It's a defensive check, and it will be an out. So it's hit to the 3rd baseman for the 5-3 putout. Robinson to the plate. It's a patient 74, as he flies it into center field. Hendrick under it for the F8 putout. That brings our leadoff hitter Tavares back to the plate. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be a patient 29 for Tavares. And he does get wood on the on the ball. Of course, there's wood on the bat. He gets it on the ball and a line drive into center field. It drops in front of Hendrick for a 2-out single by Tavares. What can Marino do with it? Omar Marino to the plate. It's a patient 32 for Marino. And he hits it. He hits it hard grounder into right field. The runner on first will advance 1 base. As with 2 out, we have 2 on. Dave Parker to the plate. Can the big guy bring him across? Get something going here with a 2-out rally. And it's another defense check. This time, highly likely, it's on the second baseman. The second baseman, Tyson, he's an E2, very likely. It is an error because he's a 1-51 and the roll is a 24. So what is the error? It's a 2-base error. So it is a tough error because it will score 1. It will move Marino over to third and Parker to second on the E5. Just what John Urea did not want. Milner to the plate as he's trying to settle down, calm himself, and trying not to curse out his third baseman. It's a patient 47 for Milner. And he walks Milner. So with 2 down, we have the bases loaded for Bill Robinson, who already once in this game hit a grand slam. Can he do it again? Robinson to the plate. It's a tough 14 on Robinson, and he strikes him out. He said, that will not happen again, as he struck out. But the Pirates, at the bottom of the 6th, get another run across with a costly error that brought in Frank Tavares. So after 6, Pirates lead 6-3. As we go to the 7th, we're going to need another pitcher. No, we'll keep Robinson in. We're going to have another pitcher for the Cardinals next inning. Robinson's still in there, pitching well. But this will probably be his last inning because he will be fatigued after this one because he has allowed 3. Tyson to the plate. Here comes the offering. It's an in play 0-2 to Tyson. That should be good, and it is. He hits it sharply, and he hits it well. Looping liner to right field as he grabs the double here off of Robinson here in the 7th. Now I got to bring a pinch hitter in. This is the only difficult thing about this system. Who do I want to bring in? It's a right-hander. We'll bring in Jerry Mumphrey. I'll just move him over here. So Mumphrey in to pinch hit. With a runner on second, Robinson Dillon to Mumphrey. It is a tough 0-3. He strikes him out. So Mumphrey comes in and gets sat down quickly as he is out of here. That will bring Lou Brock back up here in the top of the 7th. The runner on second. That's a tough 19 for Lou Brock, and he strikes him out. Robson's starting to fill his oats here in the 7th with a couple Ks. Brings Templeton to the plate. That's a ballpark 77. That will be an in play for Templeton. An in play 07 for Templeton, and that's a 3-bagger. He hits the triple, and that will score Tyson as he goes to third with 2 outs. Gary Templeton hits a triple to bring a run across here in the top of the 7th. Brings up Keith Hernandez as they're hoping to get Don Robinson out of this inning. That's a tough 31 for Hernandez. And he does not strike him out. That tough 31 is a double as he drives it down the line to right field, and he will score Templeton easily as he hits the double. And do I pull Robinson? I think I want to wait one more to see if he can kill this inning. And he throws him a wheelhouse, and he throws a wheelhouse to Simmons, and it is deposited into the cheap seats as Simmons has home runned and brought in himself and Hernandez for 2 more runs, and that will be it for Don Robinson as he will be seated. So who to bring in for Robinson? We'll bring in Enrique Romo. Maybe brought him in too late, as he will face George Hendrick. This is a patient 66 for Hendrick. And he gets him to ground to second for the 4-3 putout to end the inning. But the damage was done as 4 runs come across in the top of the 7th. as the Cardinals now take the 7-6 lead. My. What an inning for the visiting St. Louis Cardinals. Now, who to bring in for John Urea? Littell looks good. As Stinnett will come to the plate, Mark Littell. After his warm-up pitches, he delivers to Stinnett. It will be a tough 51 for Stinnett. He lifts one into right field where Scott settles underneath it for out number 1. As Ed Ott comes to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. Be a patient 68. And he grounds it too short. Templeton there. He takes it up for the 6-3 put out. And Garner to the plate as the tide has turned here in the 7th. This time it'll be a tough 26. He strikes him out. It's 3 up, 3 down for Mark Littell. Tony Scott to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. Excuse me, top of the 8th. What am I thinking? Let me get my story straight here. Romo's still on the mound. And it is a wheelhouse to Scott, a wheelhouse 56. And he had the offering, but he could not do anything with it as he lifts it into left field. Robinson settles underneath it for the F7 put out. That will bring Ken Wrights to the plate for the tough 50 for Wrights. And he strikes him out, barely. That's where the strikeout range ended. So Tyson to the plate. And I think we're going to look to pinch hit Tyson here. Second baseman, see if we can get a little better bat for St. Louis. Bear with me a second. Let's see. Another second baseman. Yeah, we'll bring in Obergefell to hit for Tyson. He will come in and play second. So will this work out? All right, let's see. Obergefell and Romo to Oberfeld. Will be a patient 67 for Oberfeld. And it was close, but no cigar as he hits it sharply to short, where Taveras fields it for the 6-3 put out. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Cardinals leading 7-6. Littell will still be on the mound. Now we'll look for someone to come in for Romo. That'd be it for him because we need some runs across. All right. Who will be my pinch hitter? Yeah, good old Bill Matlock. Matlock batted .335, so we'll bring him in. And the pitch from Littell to Matlock. It's a defensive check, and it looks like it's going to be an error. To the shortstop. Shortstop's rating is a 3, and it indeed is an error. What is that error? It's a one-base error, so it is a E6. So Matlock is on with an E6. That will bring Taveras up to the plate as Matlock got himself on. Will not be attempting to steal as that's not his thing. And here we go. 1 on, no outs. It's an in play, 76 for Taveras. He's grounded to short. His double play is an 8. Templeton, what was his? Was his an 8 as well? No, his was 6, so 6 and under. And it is a double play. He has hit into the 6-4-3 double play. Ouch. That will bring Marino up to the plate with 2 outs. It'll be a tough 12 for Marino. He strikes him out. And we go to the 9th. I've confused myself here. I will need a new pitcher for Romo. And that will be to Colby. And Lou Brock will be leading off here in the top of the ninth. That will be a tough 64 on Lou Brock. He will ground out to short for the 6-3 put out. Templeton to the plate. It's an in-play 0-9 for Templeton. And he has banged a 3-bagger. He triples as he hit. It's banging off the wall in right field. As he pulled it, as he went up, he pulled it into the left field for the 1-out triple. So we have a runner in scoring position with Hernandez to the plate. It's an in-play 96. He hits it into right field with Templeton. He will score with the 7. Let's see if it was hit deep. No, it was a short fly. Let's see. The run for Templeton is a 7. The arm for Parker is a 5. Yeah, we're going to hold him there. He's not going to attempt to score. Too good of an arm for Parker. So 2 out, runner on third. Ted Simmons to the plate. Colby deals. It's an in-play 63. And he grounds out. Hits the ball to Tavares, over to Milner for the 6-3 put out. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. Mark Littell still on the mound. Parker will be up. This is going to tell the story as they go to the bottom of the ninth, down 7-6. Chill out. Had to check the door. My dog's going crazy. Sorry about that. All right, here we are, 7-6. Bottom of the ninth. Parker to the plate. Littell delivers. Patient, 48 to Dave Parker. And Dave Parker leads off with the only thing on his card for a triple is that 48, and we roll a 48. So Dave Parker leads off with a triple to put himself in scoring position with no outs. That brings Milner to the plate. John Milner to the plate. Littell to deliver. And it's a tough 75 for Milner, who hits it into center field. And it's deep center field, and that will score Parker. As Parker does have a run of 7, he will score. And a sacrifice fly ties this game up here in the ninth. That brings up Bill Robinson, who's hit a grand slam already in this game. It will will be a defensive check, and it's an 0-8, and that will be an error. The second baseman, Templeton, who is a 3, and it is an error on the second baseman, and it is a one-base error. So Robinson is on with the E4. Now we'll bring Randy Stennett to the plate. In play 0-3 for Stennett, and he has hit a double. He has hit a double. Randy Stennett with a double. What will happen with Robinson? That double has been a liner into left center. It's cut off by the left fielder, and all runners will score. That will bring Robinson across the plate, and with a walk-off double, Randy Stennett has won this game for the Pittsburgh Pirates as 2 runs come across here in the bottom of the 9th. And that is our ball game. 8-7. The Pittsburgh Pirates come back with late heroics by Randy Stennett to win the game 8-7. Folks, that's the game. That was an exciting one. It went down to the very end with the Pirates jumping off quickly in the first inning with a grand slam home run by Bill Robinson that seen 5 runs come across in that first inning. I missed a run. It was actually a 9-7 finish. I don't know how I missed that. But so it wasn't as close as I thought. It was still a great game. It ended up being a 9-7 game. I apologize for my poor scorekeeping. I'm just learning to get the hang of it. I hope someone will come along later and catch this game. It was an exciting one. I enjoyed it.